Hi, this is Janet Skates and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is fun and playtime, so I am bringing you along while I experiment a bit. I'm going to be working on paper and I don't really have an objective in mind. I'm just wanting to kind of play and get inspired. So we'll see what happens, and you're here to join me on this fun time. If you don't set aside time for creative play, it can really stifle my practice, I know, and probably yours too. I tend to easily get caught up in the need to do things and the must do things, and the best time is playtime, and that's how we stay inspired and stay creative. So that's what we're going to do today. I am working on Strathmore mixed media paper today. I love this paper. I work on it a lot. This and Arches and Fabriano papers are some of my favorites. This is a 184 pound 11 by 14 inches paper, and I may go through more than one sheet. We'll see. Depends on how I get started here. But that's what I'm going to start with. And at this time, I'm going to make sure you can see that. Yep. And at this time, I have nothing on my palette. I've got my palette ready with some damp paper toweling, butcher paper, and I use clippies so that it doesn't move around. Some of you had asked on a previous video if you could see my palette, or said you would like to see my palette. So I'm going to see if I can adjust the camera here where you can see the palette and also see what I'm working on. I don't know if I can get all of it in the same shot, but I'm going to try. So let's see if that helps a little bit. It looks better. So we'll give that a shot and see how it works. And I'm going to get started now painting. I've got a hot tea here, and I'm going to gather up some paints, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got enough here to get started. My heavy body paints stay on my work table that you can see right over there, my larger jars, and then I keep utility carts full of tubes and bottles of fluid. So that's what I've got handy, and we'll just see if I need anything else from there, I will get it. So right now my paper is just clean and dry, and I think at first I'm going to float some very soft color. And maybe it's because I've been walking around the garden and looking at my little flowers are starting to peek out, and I've got some bulbs up, some tulips and liatris and different bulbs coming up. The hyacinth are done now, but you know what? I just thought about this. Again, open to creative play. I'm going to actually work on 2 or 3 sheets at a time, because once I get this paint out, I know that I'm going to have even more than what I need, and I don't like to waste paint. So I'm going to let you watch now as I get some color on my palette. And again, it doesn't really matter what color you're using or what brand you're using. Just grab some paints. Like I said, I'm using some soft colors just to get started, and I'll let you just keep watch in the background, because as one of you said the other day, does it interfere with your process if you're having to talk while you video? And sometimes, yes, it does. Not all the time, but like right now, especially with no plan in mind, it's easy to get lost, you know, and get distracted and not really focus on what I'm wanting to do. So I've got some color and some acrylic fluid gloss medium, and I'm going to get started now, and there'll be maybe some music playing in the background, and off I go. So you may have noticed, you know, as I finish up a piece, I dab a little paint up at the top just to cover the marks where my palette clips are, and so I cover those up. They may not be visible in the finished piece. It may end up like this instead of this or what have you, but I like to make sure there's paint there, and I can always touch it up if need be. The other thing, I take my shop toweling, and you'll see me roll it up here just on the bottom. That is just to catch the pooling at the bottom, so that I love the drips. I love the fluidity that creates in the piece, the movement in the piece, but I don't want it to create a wet border, you know, right here, a lot of it at the bottom. And so I roll that paper toweling up at the bottom, just along the edge, so it picks up the pooling for me and helps create a cleaner edge. So I want to go over the pieces one more time. I used fluid golden acrylics and some Holbein heavy body acrylic, and the gloss medium, again I used that, and water, and I think I used one, maybe two brushes. No, I think I used one brush, a flat brush, two flat brushes. So this is on Strathmore Mixed Media Series 400 paper. So I've got 3 finished pieces here, or finished, the background is finished. I'll probably, you know, do something with these. At this point, I can come in with paint pens. I can add more layers of acrylic paint. I have options open to me at this point. Gouache, once these are dry, they are ready for me to play with. But I've got 3 of them now that are ready to go. So that's the first one, the one that I started with and did not like because it was really tight, you know, as I started, and then I came back to it in the end, and I love it. So and then I have this one, which is still wet as well, but I have this one, which I love as well. You can really tell I've got some light spring colors going on today. And then this other one here, all of these are still a little bit wet, but it won't be long before I can get to work on them. And this one as well. So these are 3 pieces, and let's see what I do with them. I'll try and come back and share some of that process as well, or at least share the finished pieces. But I wanted you to see how I go about creating some fun backgrounds for some mixed media smaller works. And you did get to see the palette work on that. Here's what's left on the palette. And I'm going to take this paint and use it on a couple of these sheets that I have here. I keep extra paper in my workspace, and I take the brush and I use up the paint that's on my palette. If I don't have another place that I want to use that up, I put it on some spare paper, and that way I've got backgrounds going for some fun mixed media pieces here and no paint waste. So that's where I'm at today. Again, this is Janet Skates. You can follow me on Instagram at Janet Skates Art, here on YouTube, of course, Facebook, and my website, janetskates.com. And stay in touch. Subscribe to my newsletter for news and events. Check out the Birkenstocks, which release in 2 more days. In just 2 more days. The Birkenstocks will be out, 2 styles available, and they are selling fast. So if you want yours, hop on over to my website and you can order now. Have a great day. Tune in for another video soon. Bye now.